Go ahead and get yourself into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. If you'd like to sit with crossing your legs, go ahead and cross the weird leg on top. And just notice if that feels any different in your body, having that different leg out front. And just settle into your body here. See if you can make your spine nice and long. See if you can let all of the events that happened today slip away. Everything that's coming up after this, let it go. And just be present in this moment. Check in with your breath. Again, no need to change or judge it. Just see what it's doing. Your hands can be anywhere that is comfortable for you. We're going to start with a few rounds of lion's breath. So go ahead and inhale through the nostrils. Inhaling 2, 3, 4. We'll pause at the top. And then exhale out through the mouth, sticking out your tongue. Forcing the air out. Empty those lungs and go ahead and inhale again. Inhaling for 2, 3, 4. Stopping at that pause, sipping in, stopping at the top to pause. And go ahead and exhale out through the mouth. Exhale all that air out through your mouth. Empty out those lungs and come into one more inhale. Inhaling for 2, 3, 4. Pausing at the top, sipping in, and exhaling out through the mouth. Beautiful. Go ahead and, if you haven't lowered your eyelids, go ahead and drop your eyes. Lower your gaze or drop your eyelids. Coming into the body today. Maybe you want to feel rested. Maybe you're like me and you haven't done anything for a while, so you're a little bit nervous and ready. And maybe you're prepared to comfort yourself a little bit and take it easy. But just set an intention for whatever it is you'd like to do today. It can be not pushing yourself too hard. It can be being in the moment. It can be accepting love and patience. It can be breathing into your poses, whatever you'd like. And when you're ready with your intention, we'll just slowly open the eyes and we'll start with the arms. Gently lifting them above your head. Stretch those fingertips out, reach those shoulders up, and then shrug them back down. Feel that length in your neck. If you are popping your ribs out, go ahead and bring them back. From here, we'll make cartoon cactus arms. From here, go ahead and make robot fists, I guess, robot arms going back and forth. Really pausing to clench your muscles, flex your muscles in these spots like you're really trying to show off your biceps. Both directions. Then we'll go back up to the top, checking in on those ribs, bending that elbow down, bringing your hand to your elbow to push it down. Option to come around back and grab your hand or your t-shirt for your bind. Don't do it. Don't do it, little man. Inhaling your arms back up. Exhaling the other side down. Option to grab your arm behind you if you can. Usually I'm about, I don't know, 5 inches away from my hand. I'm about 1.5 feet away today.
Yeah, yeah.
Arms up again.
How the fuck did I not see you?
Ahem.
Body was in here.
Ahem.
I got you. Here you go.
Twisting
Yeah,
to
yeah,
your right,
I don't know
put
why I
your
didn't
right
see you.
hand
Remember,
over
I-
your knee. Alright, go ahead and twist to the left. Inhaling nice and long, exhaling to twist. Inhaling back to center, exhaling to the other side. Nice, gentle twisting. Exhale, we'll come back to the center. Let's start. Shush, don't do it. I don't want to hear any yelling. Okay. We're gonna start with our neck rolls. Instead of making like big circles in your neck, imagine you're drawing a circle with the bottom of your chin. You're trying to make it a nice big circle. If you hear any crunching in your neck, make your circle smaller. Okay. Nope. 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 Nope.
Sorry. Are you already on?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh. Make sure you go the other direction with your neck circles. And when you're ready, you can come back to center and we'll come into our shoulder circle, shrugging our shoulders up and dropping them back down. Shrugging them up and dropping them back down. Making sure to roll forward as well as backwards. Go ahead and put your hands on your shoulders, lift those elbows into the air, dropping those ribs back in. Breathing here and just make circles with your elbows. Nice big circles, opening up those shoulders, feeling that stretch in your arms. Other way. Make sure you go in both directions. And when you're ready, come back to center. We're going to try to touch those elbows. Thank you, Trey. Touch those elbows together in front of your nose, in front of your forehead, in front of your chin. When you're ready, you can release your arms down. Go ahead and lift them into the air again, reaching down to one side, reaching that arm over, feeling that stretch in your intercostal muscles here, reaching that shoulder away from your ear, breathing here. From here, we're gonna go ahead and windmill the body, making a big circle in the waist, coming up on the other side, reaching that arm over top. Pressing those sit bones into the ground. Can you feel the stretch? Can you bring that shoulder away from your ear? Then release that hand back down. This time we'll take one arm over your front and do a stretch here. See if you can keep your shoulders even. And when you're ready, you can switch to the other side. When you're ready, you can release your arms, give your arms a big shake out. We'll come to tabletop in the center of your mat. From here, give your hip, before we go into our cat cows, just start the motion in your hips with little tilts and tuck of your pelvis, just gentle little tilts and tucks and tilts and tucks. We'll come to a nice flat back here. Lifting that left leg in the air, keeping it bent, keeping your sacrum and your sit bones nice and even. You just lift that leg up into the air. Breathing here. We'll drop it back down. Then we'll lift it for 1, drop it back down. Lift it for 2, drop it back down. Lift it for 3. Drop it back down. This time we'll do our fire hydrants, which is like a dog peeing. Just lift that same leg to the side. See if you can get a 90-degree angle in your hips. Breathing here. Go ahead and exhale to drop that down. Inhale to lift back up. Exhale down. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling down. We'll do one more. Inhaling to lift. Exhale down. From here, we're going to bring that knee to the nose. Go ahead and lift. Exhale all that air out of the body. Breathing here. Maybe bringing that knee a little closer with each exhale. Go ahead and exhale, replace that knee back down. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale to bring the knee back up. Inhale down. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale down. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale down. Coming in with our opposite leg, bring that knee up into the air. Nice 90-degree angle. Nice, even hips. If I put a block on my sacrum, it won't fall. Because my hips are even. We're doing a great job. Breathing here. Go ahead and exhale to bring the knee back to the mat. Inhale to lift it into the air. Exhale down to the mat. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to the mat. Inhale to lift. Go ahead and exhale back down to the mat. Fire hydrants, lifting that opposite leg into the air, trying to get a 90-degree angle in your hips. And see if you can keep your weight even in both of your hands. Breathing here. Go ahead and exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale out to the side. Exhale, knee to the mat. Inhale out to the side. Exhale, knee to the mat. We'll do one more out to the side. And then back to the mat. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale out, bring that knee to your nose. Breathing here. Maybe bringing it a little closer with each exhale. And exhale back down to the mat. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then we'll exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, knee to the mat. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, knee to the mat. And exhale, knee to nose. Go ahead and bring that knee back to the mat. We'll come in to our flat back. Inhaling into our cow pose, dropping that udder down, tops of the feet are glued to the mat, chest is shining forward. Can you take a few deep breaths in this pose? Is there any place maybe you need a little extra breath here? On your next exhale, start with a tilting of the pelvis. And let that motion move through the spine, bringing you into your cat pose. Option to come up onto your fingertips here. Option to tuck your toes under. In this pose, can you find any spot that's maybe a little bit more stuck? Needs a little bit more breath? On your next inhale, we're going to come back to cow pose. Exhale, cat, starting with that pelvis, tilting into cow, and tucking into cat. Tilting into cow, and tucking into cat. You continue this movement at your own pace and your own breath. Linking your movement to your breath. You can always introduce a nice twisting or rounding through your cat cow. Just waking up that spine, waking up those shoulders, waking up those hips. When you're ready, we'll come back to our tabletop pose. We'll lift the left arm into the air for a gentle twist. See if you can twist from your midsection. See if you can keep your hips stationary. Your next exhale, thread that needle through, place the outside of the shoulder onto the mat. Option to reach out that opposite arm and leg to get a nice gentle stretch in. Your next exhale, you can come back to your gentle twist. Coming back to your tabletop. Bring a twist to the other side, breathing in to those shoulders. On your next exhale, go ahead and thread that under. Option to bring the opposite foot and arm stretching out in either direction. Breathing. Next exhale, bring your hand in. Press back into that twist, reaching nice and tall into the sky. And we'll come back to our tabletop pose. From here, you can tuck your toes under. You can walk your hands back as much as you can handle. You can come all the way up into a seated position. Congratulations. Good job. Awesome. If not, you want to just kind of walk back as much as you can here. And just see what's comfortable. Breathing into this toe stretch. Nice and gentle. Exhaling forward. Go ahead and place the tops of the toes onto the mat. You can lift the knees off the mat if you'd like. Exhaling down. All right. In tabletop pose, tucking those back toes under and pressing into downward facing dog. Nice and gentle in down dog. And start by pedaling through your feet. When you're ready, we'll all inhale their heels into the air and exhale to drag them back down to the mat. Breathing here. Imagine you're pulling your heels down to the mat. Your sit bones are pointed towards the ceiling. And give your hips a little shake out here if that feels nice. And give your head a little nod, yes, a little shake, no. A little I don't know, back and forth. When you're ready, you can roll forward to your plank pose. Breathing here. Pushing back to downward facing dog. Inhaling your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Can bend that knee, pull that heel towards your bum. Option to go into rock star pose here. Breathing nice and even. And place that foot back down. Lifting the opposite leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale to pull that heel towards your bum. Opening up in the hips. And when you're ready, you can bring that down to the mat. We'll step, so we're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your first forward fold, you can be nice and gentle with it. Your knees can be bent as much as you'd like. You can fold forward as much as you'd like. Maybe you start off not very deep, and each exhale you get a little bit deeper. You stay where you are. Feel gooey here, like you're oozing down to the mat. The legs from the top of your sit bones are oozing all the way down the top of your body from your sacrum down the spine, oozing into the ground. From here, straighten your legs as much as is comfortable. You can place one hand onto the ground, lift the opposite in the air. Same knee as hand that's touching the ground should be bent. Make sense? Arm that's in the air, your leg should be straight. Go ahead and exhale and swap the twist, swap the arms with your twist. Breathing here. You can return to your forward fold. Again, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no. Maybe you're folded a little bit more deeply this time. And here you can place your hands on your shins and come into a nice long flat back. Breathing here. And then from here, go ahead and ooze back down into your forward fold. Option to grab opposite elbows here, or interlace your hands behind your back. release your hands wherever they may be. And gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet should be hips width distance apart. Lifting up in those arches, pressing down on all four corners of the feet, pressing out with those outer edges of your thighs. Tailbone pointing down. You can release your arms at your sides. When you're ready, we'll lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Check in with those ribs, make sure they're not pointing out. From here, let's just go ahead and bend to the right. And take your right arm to your hip if you'd like. Just really stretching into that left side. Then inhaling back to the center. Exhaling to stretch to that opposite side. Again, you can place that hand on your hip and help you stabilize. Lifting back to center, arms in the air. Go ahead and fold forward here. Hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Breathe in your plank. See if you can get in contact with your pelvis here. Can you tilt and tuck and tilt and tuck and tilt and tuck? Because if you're a little bit too pitchy, like if you're in your downward dog, you can always tuck your pelvis and it'll press you into a more strong plank pose. From here, we can lower the knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for your low cobra or upward facing dog. And then pressing back to downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step. So you're in a forward fold in front of the mat. Hands to your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms up into the air. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog. Deep breath in down dog. On your exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale your arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. You can lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhale for your low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, put your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up the stand. Excuse me. All right. Standing mountain pose at the front of your mat. Lift your hands into the air. Check in with those ribs. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, plant your hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat and come into your plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to down. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step. Steps are in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up the stand. Do one more like that. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, go ahead and lift your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. We're going to exhale and fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And then pressing back to down. Deep breath here. On your exhale, you can hop or step forward, turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up the stand. Beautiful. All right. Now we can start our flow. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet are hips width distance apart. We're gonna lift. Ow. Try not to hit the bookshelves on the wall. We're gonna lift our arms in the air. From here, we're gonna bend our knees and bring the seat down for chair pose. Breathing in chair. Exhale to bring your hands to the mat to fold forward. From here, we'll plant the hands, step back, plank pose. You can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling to press back to down dog. From here, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale to bend that knee and open up those hips. Exhale, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. You come into a nice, sturdy, low lunge. See if you can get that right angle in that front leg. Sink down into your lunge if you'd like. From here, we'll lower that back knee, untuck your toes, lift your arms into the air, and gaze at the thumbs for a gentle back bend. Exhale to frame that front foot again. Tuck those back toes under, kick that foot forward, make sure both heels are touching the ground. And then from here, see if you can bring that forehead towards your shin for a nice runner stretch. Release whatever props you have. You can bring both feet back to your plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. and pressing back to down dog. Lifting that left leg into the air for a three-legged dog. We'll bend the knee, open up those hips. Really try to keep the bum with your heel. On your next exhale, let's swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Find a nice, sturdy, low lunge here. You can sink into your lunge, you can sink into your thighs, but really try to find a 90-degree angle in that front leg. From here, we'll drop that back knee, untuck the toes, bring the arms up, and gaze at the thumbs for a gentle back bend. And then exhale to frame that front foot. Untuck the toes, kick forward a little bit. Make sure both heels are touching the mat. From here, you can try to reach that forehead towards your front shin. And release any stops you may have. Bring both legs back to plank. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. And press yourself back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, whichever feels more restful. When you're ready, you can walk forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll gently roll up to stand. You can release your arms to your sides. All right. Whew. On your next inhale, we'll bring the arms above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Sink those shoulders away from your ears. Bend your knees and come into chair pose. Breathing here. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. From here, you can lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Hello, puppies. Press back into a down dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, really bring that heel towards the bum. So much so that you can feel that burning in the front of your thighs. On your next exhale, we'll swing that foot forward. Help it if you need it. Help it if you need to. And we'll come into a nice, sturdy, low lunge. This time we'll rotate that back heel down. Again, keeping that right angle in that front knee. Hello, Monty. Pressing the feet into the mat, pushing down with all your weight. Lift your body into the air. Warrior one. Breathing here. All right. On your next exhale, let's bring the hands back behind us. Interlace those fingers and bring the shoulder down to the knee for humble warrior. On your next inhale, release your arms, bring your body back up to warrior one. We'll exhale to frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Into a plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. And exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg in the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, open up the hips, really pull that heel towards the bum. When you're ready, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. Pressing the ground away with your feet, lift your body into the air. Arms in the air for warrior one. On your next exhale, go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your back. Weird thumb on top this time. Lift that chest in the air. And exhale down for humble warrior. On your next inhale, bring your arms back into the air. Exhale to bring that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Come to downward facing dog, rolling forward to plank. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra. And exhaling to press back to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in down dog. And when you're ready, you can hop, or you can step forward to forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, when you're ready, you can gently roll up to a standing pose. All right. Coming into mountain pose at the front of the mat, pressing the ground away from you, lifting in those arches. We'll lift the arms into the air. Exhale, bend your knees, coming into chair pose. Inhale, nice big inhale in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. On your next exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra and exhaling to press back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing the foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down, we'll lift up into warrior one. Exhaling down into humble warrior. Inhale up to warrior one. We'll exhale out to warrior two. Reaching in either direction with those arms. Knee is tracking over that second toe. So you're not going too far in or too far out. On your next inhale, we'll pop that front palm forward and then back. And we'll reverse our warrior. Again, checking in with that front knee. And we'll straighten that knee. Reach forward and down, coming into triangle pose. From here, we'll bend that front knee and come into our side angle pose, reaching that top arm overhead, really getting into that right angle in that front leg because we were supported by our forearm. From here, we're going to windmill our hands down to frame that front foot. Get that front foot back to meet the back, so you're into downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling to press back to down dog. Breathing in down dog. Exhaling here. Lifting that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, really pull that heel towards the bum here. And your next exhale, we'll swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. You can rotate that back heel down. And we'll come into our warrior one. Exhale to reverse your warrior with your thumb on top. I'm that humble warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reaching your arms in either direction. Your next inhale, popping that palm up into the air, reaching forward, and then back to reverse your warrior. Straightening that front knee, reaching forward, and then down, down for triangle pose. From here, you can come into your side angle pose, reaching that opposite arm over top. Really coming into that right angle in that front knee. Feeling supported by your forearm. Go ahead and exhale, rotate your arms down to frame that front foot. We'll get that front foot back to meet the back. Coming into downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhaling to press back to down. Breathing in down dog or child pose, whichever is more restful for you. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards or forward fold at the front of the mat. In this forward fold, can you feel the back of your thigh bones reaching towards the back of the room? Can you feel your sit bones reaching towards the ceiling? In your next inhale, you can roll all the way up to a standing mountain pose. All right. Option to heel toe your feet in right now for your chair pose. We'll lift your arms into the air. Exhale, bending your knees and coming into your chair. From here, we'll take our hands to heart center, taking that right elbow over the left knee and coming into a chair pose twist. Breathing, coming back to our chair, exhaling, coming to the other side, placing that opposite elbow on the outside of the opposite knee. On your next inhale, you can come back to your chair pose and exhale, fold forward. Step back to your plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra and exhale to press back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee. Really bring that heel towards the bum. On your next exhale, we'll swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. So you're in a nice, sturdy, low lunge. From your low lunge, you can rotate that back heel down, really pressing into the mat with your feet. Can you lift your body up? Come into warrior one. Exhale down to your humble warrior. Inhale up to your warrior one. Exhale out to your warrior two. Come back to your reverse warrior. Straighten out that leg and we'll come down to triangle pose. Bend your knee again and we'll come into our side angle pose. From here, we'll windmill the arms down so we're in a wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. Walk your fingertips back if that's comfortable for you. And hang out in this wide-legged forward fold. Breathe in. Here we're gonna walk our fingertips over to our right leg. And just grab the right angle here. You can bring that forehead to your knee if you'd like. And then do the same thing with the opposite ankle. We'll walk our fingertips back to that right foot. Rotate back around so you're in your low lunge. We'll kick that front foot back to meet the back. So you're in your plank pose. Go ahead and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra and exhale for a downward facing dog. From here, we'll go ahead and lift that left leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Really pull that heel towards your bum. You're gonna swing the foot forward. Help it if you need to. So you're in your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Do not do that. All right, thank you. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. We're gonna lift up into our warrior one. Pull away. Exhale, we're gonna come into our humble warrior. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, come into triangle pose. Inhale, back to warrior two. Come into our side angle pose. From here, we'll rotate or windmill those arms down again. So we're in our wide-legged forward fold on the other side. This time you have the option to bend your right knee. And then just kind of walk your hands over, maybe bend your left knee. Real gentle. I mean, you can bend your knee all the way and come into like a side squat if you'd like. Or you can just kind of walk back and forth, really getting into the feeling here. From here, we can walk our hands back to frame that front foot again. Take that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and then press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, whatever's more restful for you. All right. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, gently roll up to stand. Do one more like that. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Lift your arms up into the air. Bend your knees into a chair pose. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. Inhale that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, really pull that heel towards the bum. Bring that foot forward, help it if you need to. So you're a nice sturdy low lunge. Rotate that back foot down. Come into your warrior one. Exhale down to your humble warrior. Inhale to your warrior one. Exhale out to your warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale for triangle pose. Inhale for warrior two. Exhale for side angle pose. From here, we'll rotate down, so we're in that wide-legged forward fold. And we'll just heel toe our feet together. So we're in a comfortable squat type distance. And we'll just come into your squat or half a squat. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to the mat, push your bum up in the air, come back to your mat. So you can come into a plank, however that suits you. And we'll go into our vinyasa. Go ahead and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Come up for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back for a downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg into the air. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, really pull that heel toward the bum. Swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. We'll come into our warrior one. And our humble warrior. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to your wide-legged forward fold. From here, you come into a side squat, whatever that means to you. You can just kind of practice going side to side like we did before. Or you can take a couple of breaths really in each leg. Woo. You can get your heel all the way down, that's ideal. Oh, and when you're ready, bring your bum back up in the air, rotate, kick this front heel back to meet the back, and we'll come into a vinyasa. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra in our upward facing dog, and exhaling to press back to down dog. Take a few deep breaths here. When you're ready, you can hop or step forwards or do forward fold with the front of the mat. From here, we'll gently roll up to stand and give yourself a nice little shake. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, we'll just lift the arms into the air. Exhale to fold forward. Go ahead and step back to your plank pose. We'll push back to downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg in the air again, nice and tall for three-legged dog. Bend the knee again, pull that heel towards the bum, really open up the hips here. Swing that foot forward. We'll put it on the outside of the hands for lizard pose. So we have a hand, and a foot. Bring that thumb down. Again, like you see my butt is pitching to the air here. But a little tilting of the tailbone, tucking of the tailbone, tucking the tailbone really helps here. So coming into your lizard pose, hello, Monty. Option to drop this back knee down. And really just breathe here. When you're ready, you can pop that back knee back up. So you're in this kind of half, I don't know, lunge. Oh, lift that leg back up in the air for a three-legged dog. Bend that knee again. Really pull that heel towards the bum. And then we'll swing the shin forward for pigeon pose. Hi, Monty. All right. Get yourself nice and set up for pigeon. Lift that chest in the air. Roll it down. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight. And just breathe here. And when you're ready to lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat, you can position yourself into a nice tabletop pose. Shake your bum back and forth. You tuck these back toes under, lift your legs into the air. Lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. We're gonna bend the knee, really pull that heel towards the bum. And we'll bring it forward for lizard pose. So we're hand, foot. Option to drop that back leg up, back knee down, and just breathe in your lizard pose. Here you can tuck those back toes under, lift that back knee off the mat, press that leg into the air for a three-legged dog, bend that knee, bring that heel towards the bum, and bring that shin forward for pigeon pose. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight, like a pin coming out behind you. Inhale up into the air and exhale to fold forward. Your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. Go ahead and rotate your legs so you're in a tabletop pose. You can give your hips a little shake out here. And when you're ready, go ahead and come to the mat on your belly. We'll roll onto our backs. All right, starting with our bridges. All right, make sure your feet are hips width distance apart, and you can just about graze your heels with your fingertips. We'll start with active bridges. Thank you, Monty. So go just lift from here. So I'm sorry. Let's start with tilting and tucking our pelvis. So from here, tilt the pelvis, or I'm sorry, tuck the pelvis, tilt the pelvis, tuck the pelvis, tilt the pelvis. And then when you're comfortable with that movement, we'll just lift the hips off the mat and bring them back down. Lifting just the hips, kind of like extending that tilting and tucking motion. Tilting all the way down and tucking all the way up. When you've had enough of that, you can come back down to the mat. We'll go ahead and lift into our active bridges for 3 to 5 breaths. So when you're ready, you can lift your hips up. You can wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you. You can interlace your fingers behind your back. And take 3 to 5 good breaths in a nice active bridge pose. Option to place a block under your hips for a nice gentle restorative bridge. Go ahead and release down, release your hands, release your shoulders, release your spine all the way back down to the mat. Give your knees a little windshield wiper action back and forth. And when you're ready, we'll lift up into your second active bridge. Lifting those hips off the mat, making that extreme tucking motion. And coming up onto your shoulder blades, you can interlace your fingers back behind your back. Hello, doggies. Breathing here. And release down, release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your spine back to the mat. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And when you're ready, we'll take one final bridge, lifting the hips into the air, wiggling those shoulder blades underneath you, interlacing your hands back behind you if you'd like. Breathing 3 to 5 good breaths here. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades, come back down to the mat. Windshield wiper out your legs. Do one more active pose in our bridge. Go ahead and lift into your bridge pose of the amount that you're comfortable with. From here, see if you can. You might want to grab the mat with your hands. See if you can just lift your right leg into a nice tabletop pose, reverse tabletop. Bring it back down, lift the left leg up to that tabletop. Keeping those hips off the mat, you can use like a roller, like a muscle roller or ball or a ball or a block if you'd like, or you can just hold those low abs and lift your legs into your reverse tabletop, nice and gentle. And when you're done, we'll go ahead and bring the low back down to the mat. Again, windshield wiper out those knees. We're gonna do that same action, but this time with the low back on the mat. We'll come into our reverse tabletop with our legs, keeping our knees at a 90-degree angle. See if you can just drop that right leg down. Maybe just tap the toes onto the mat, drop the left leg down, keeping that 90-degree angle in your knee. Keeping those low belly muscles pulling down, wrapping around your back, giving you stability here. Thank you. Okay. And when you're done with that, you can go ahead and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. We will take our right ankle onto the left knee, lift that left knee into the air. You can grab the back of the thigh with your hands and press that right knee away from you with your elbow. Both feet should be flexed here. If you're not finding a place to stretch, you can always gently kind of come back and forth on your sit bone. See if you can find a place that maybe needs a little bit more love. When you're ready, you can release your legs, switch the crossing of your legs. Bring those hands behind your opposite thigh and press that knee away from you with your elbow. Again, if you can't find a spot that really needs stretching, you can always just kind of rotate back and forth on your hips. See if you can find somewhere that's maybe a little bit more sore, a little bit more stuck. Go ahead and release your hands, release your feet down. You can windshield wiper out your knees here. Oh, thank you, honey. Let me throw that for you. When you're ready, we're gonna come into that reverse tabletop again. This time we're gonna extend one leg out about 45-degree angle, at about a 45-degree angle. And bring it back and extend the other leg out at about a 45-degree angle. And bring it back. Maybe this motion is a little bit more fluid than the toe taps on the ground. Maybe you're bringing your leg to your 45-degree angle while you're bringing your other one back. Think of a bicycle. Maybe every time you move one of your legs, they crack. When you're ready, you can come to stillness in that reverse tabletop. You can hug those knees into your chest nice and tight. Go ahead and rock back and forth. And make little circles with your knees here. Make sure you go both directions. And we're gonna do legs in the air. We're not doing an inversion yet. Just bring your legs into the air. Again, you can do like 90-degree angle. You can do like the 80, 75, whatever's comfortable for you. Your knees can be bent here. Just reach your legs into the air for a moment. First thing we're going to do is big circles. So we're going to take one knee, left knee, hug it into your leg, other leg, big circles. Giant circles with your leg. Do 3 in one direction, then you come back and do the other. 3 in the other direction. Hug that knee in, extend the opposite leg out, up in the air, make 3 big circles in one direction. Out. And 3 big circles in the other direction. Hug both knees into your chest. Lift your legs into the air. We're going to do big scissors. So like bring one leg down and then the other leg down, big scissors in the air like this. All right, and when you're ready, we're gonna combine both motions. Hey. We're gonna cut once with our scissors. So bring your opposite leg. All I can hear is dogs. All right, so you're gonna cut with the legs. Oh, big open legs, then bring your half a circle so you're kind of in your other scissor motion. Then cut your scissors. Big circle, cut your scissors, big circle, other way. Cut your scissors, big circle, cut your scissors, big circles, cut your scissors, big circle, and then bring your knees into your chest, nice and tight. When you're ready, you can go ahead and drop your knees to one side and we'll come into our gentle twist. On your next inhale, you can bring your knees to your center. And when you're ready, you can exhale them down to the opposite side. On your next inhale, you can come back to center. We're going to do a gentle inversion, whatever that means to you. You can place a block under your sacrum. You can do legs up the wall. You can do a supported shoulder stand. Just bring your feet into the air. While you're in your gentle inversion, see if you can play with your legs in your hip sockets. So you can do like an internal rotation, kind of bring your knees together, and an external rotation, maybe bring your knees out to the sides. Kind of just working on internally rotating and externally rotating your legs, feeling them in that hip socket, that ball and socket joint, really rolling around in there. When you're ready, you can release wherever you are. Come down to the mat. Bring your feet into the air and we'll come into a happy baby. You can reach for the interior of your arches. Really pull those knees into your armpits if you'd like. You can practice kind of doing a Peter Pan stretch by reaching one leg straight and bending one knee. Had enough of that, you can release your hands down and come into your final resting pose. You can start to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can introduce small movements in your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can lay on your side using your arm as a pillow and take one breath in the fetal position. And then using that same slow quality of movement, you can come up to a gentle seat. We'll close with one Om. Take a moment and thank yourself and thank your body for coming to yoga. Bring your hands to heart center, inhaling for Om. Om. Namaste.